My wife is currently enrolled in a business law course, and the textbook is Business Law with UCC Applications, a McGraw-Hill publication, 14th edition. And I was flipping through it. I saw your normal stuff here and there. It seemed pretty interesting. I might read through it. I was looking at the table of contents and I saw Chapter 34. Let me focus this. Sorry about the sound effects you'll hear here. Chapter 34, International Law and the New World Order. Can you believe your eyes? This is the actual name of the chapter. And then it starts with the opening case, round 1, China versus the United States. Friendly rivalry or global judgment day? And learning objectives. Explain the process of predictive political history. Identify and define the theories of international behavior. Identify and define the various sets of global initial conditions. Describe the mission of the International Criminal Court. Identify the main goal of UNCITRAL. State the differences between the UCC and the CISG. Outline the structure of the World Trade Organization. Relate the objectives of the Dispute Settlement Understanding. Determine the major purpose of NAFTA. The major purpose of NAFTA. Clarify the goals of the European Union. So, Chapter 34-1, The New World Order. Patterns within the New World Order. The underlying technique, predictive political history. The Russian invasion of Crimea. The theories of international behavior. The global initial conditions, economic initial conditions, neoconservatism, neoliberalism, idealism, realpolitik. Opening case, round 2, economic initial conditions, China versus the United States, friendly economic allies. The opening case, round 3, cultural initial conditions, China versus the United States, incompatible civilizational rivals. This is in business law. Wouldn't you think this is like would be in a history class? Opening case, round 4, ideological initial conditions, China versus the United States, opposites or capitalistic democratic twins. And the Repo Man. All right, opening case, round 5, China, United States, coalition leaders or global trade rivals. China economic cycle. China manufactures goods. USA purchase goods. Profits from sale of Chinese goods go back to China. Chinese use money to purchase treasury bonds. Holy cow. And shares in US corporations. What? U.S. corporations continue to employ U.S. workers and those. China also sells to the European Union, buys oil from Russia and other nations. Wow. Okay. It's in the textbooks. Y'all need to go to college. 34-2, International Law and War. I mean, this is better than the conspiracy theory books. A Question of Ethics. Delusional fantasies and foreseeable wars. A question yet unanswered. The just war theory. Criteria for going to war. The right intention. Wait. Criteria for the proper conduct of war. Classic case. Act 1. The United States versus Bin Laden concerning the just war theory. Criteria for proper post-war conduct. Preemptive and protective war. This is business law. Protective war and the just war theory. Protective war in international law. Protective war in U.S. domestic law. Authorization for the use of military force, 2002. Alright, U.S. versus Bin Laden. Concerning the authorization for the use of military force, substantive and procedural issues, blah blah. The United Nations and the global community. The structure of the UN. International law and the UN, International Law Commission. Whoa, the United Nations system. We have an org chart. This is incredible. Principal offices of the United Nations. International Criminal Court. Economic Regulation, UN Commission. Alright, I'm just going to read things that seem interesting now. Commission on Science and Technology, UN Security Council, International Law, Finance and Trade, Monetary, the IMF and World Bank, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, World Trade Organization, GATT, WTO principles, structure of the WTO, the Dispute Settlement Board, NAFTA, European Union, intro of the Euro, national and international law, questions and review for discussion, and as a summary. And Appendix A is the Constitution. So what an interesting read. I think I'm going to read over this so that I'll be knowledgeable on the New World Order. I could say I took a course on the New World Order. I'll know about NAFTA, the UN, the IMF and World Bank from a academic perspective. Because all I have is the conspiratorial perspective. For most people, it's the exact opposite. So, yeah, maybe you could find this book online. Although I remember this was pretty expensive. I had to rent it. I don't even think I could afford to buy it. I mean, I could afford it, but I'm not going to drop the bucks on it for a semester. So, Business Law with UCC Applications, 14th edition, Paul A. Sukes, Gordon W. Brown. What a trip, huh? College is getting pretty cool. Have a good one. And granted, I know the New World Order, you get it.